Okay, let's talk about Dreadnoughts. The new Dreadnought in the Black Reach box is awesome. I mean, 60 bucks retail for the box. You get a Dreadnought, which is what, 40 bucks on its own normally? Okay, so I have no guilt in chopping these things up and trying all sorts of cool stuff with them. The problem is that if you want to use a Black Reach Dread and you don't want a multi-melta, let's say you want to use the las cannon. You put it on and, oh, it doesn't fit because Games Workshop was kind enough to make the arm pegs smaller on the Black Reach Dreadnought than on the regular Dreadnought. Well, we're going to fix that. We're going to make arm options for the arm options for the old Dreadnought fit the new Dreadnought. So if you want a las cannon or a missile launcher or the close combat weapon with the heavy flamer, you'll have an option to switch things back and forth. Alright, what you're going to need is some Woodland Scenics 5/32 inch tube. Actually, this is Evergreen. Sorry, not Woodland Scenics, Evergreen. 5/32 inch tube. It's styrene. It's the same plastic these models are made of. This tube is really handy, and it just happens to be exactly the same size as the Black Reach Dread's arm peg. Now, it doesn't exactly fit in there, just like the arm peg. There's a lot of room to work around in there. It does fit perfectly in this, though. So, hey, what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to pad the inside of this so that it fits on there nicely. What I found works really well for that is, you recognize this? It's a spray bottle gun. I hope you recognize it. If you get them at the dollar store or whatever, they all have this flexible tubing at the end. Well, this flexible tubing is really about almost exactly the right diameter to go in this hole. The problem is that the interior diameter of it is not big enough to actually let the arm peg go in. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it down and take half of a section. So put the tube all the way in on the weapon option. Make a little slice in it as a guide. Then lay it down on your surface. Cut it the rest of the way through. Now you have a little tube. Now slice that in half. So what you have when you're done is a little half pipe of this rather flexible plastic. When we put that inside the weapon option, like that, it will fit on here. I think it slid around a little bit, but it fits on there, and all of a sudden you have a Black Reach Dread with las cannon. Oops, sorry about that. Now that you've got it there, or now that it's in place, what you'll need to do is put a little bit of super glue in the bottom and lay this thing in. Don't over glue it. Just enough to hold it in place, and you can put it on the top or the bottom, whatever you want to do. Well, there's an issue though. Once you get that thing in there, this guy isn't going to fit anymore. So that's why we're back to 5/32 tube. When the time comes, I'm just going to cut this guy off, and I'm going to glue a new piece of tubing right to the same spot that is the right diameter to accept the Black Reach arms. While we're at it, the Black Reach arms are great for conversion too. Because again, you know, $60 box, you get a Dread and a whole bunch of other stuff. I have absolutely no guilt in chopping these guys up. They're dirt cheap on eBay. This is more styrene tubing that I made twin-linked autocannon with. In fact, a great part, oh by the way, this is a Black Reach Dread with autocannon and missile, or not autocannon, assault cannon and missile launcher, done the same way. The great part about this, you can have twin-linked autocannon and twin-linked autocannon. So now we have a real shooty kind of a Dread. But anyway, you can chop them up, make weapon options you can't normally make. This is my favorite one that I'm going to play soon. Plasma Cannon. It's just a Space Marine Devastator Plasma Cannon from the new box. Cut the front off the Multi-Melta arm. Made a little, it's a little like L or stair step type notch in the plasma cannon, glued it on there. A little bit of putty in the corner, a little bit of putty down here on the cable to make it look right. Carve the fingers off. It's not terribly artful on the inside. You can kind of see where the flat spot is where the hand was, but it's not terrible, and for going on the inside of an arm, it's really not going to be where the focus of anybody's attention is anyway. So get some weapon options that don't come in either box. Cheap, it's effective, and I hope to see some cool stuff. So there you go. Swap arms, everybody.